3 new showings. So we're off to start our day. We have a long one ahead of us. As a realtor, you plan a lot of stuff, but most times during the day, there could be a dozen things that fall on your plate. Today is no different. We have to schedule 3 new showings that came in at the last second for buyers. We have a closing to go to. We have to do a video tour for a client out of California that wants to move to the area because they've heard such good things about it. We're also going to go to a property that's pending that I had listed and is now under contract, but it's a unique situation in that it's a duplex. One half of the duplex we could enter and easily move around. Well, I say easily. There's hoarders that live there, so there's stuff everywhere. But the second half was the door was damaged, and so the city came out and put a piece of plywood over it. And I have to let the new agent and future owner in. So we're going to tear that covering off and see what. So now we're on the road heading out, and I forgot to mention, besides being a realtor, I'm also a dad. And I raise my 8-year-old as well. So while not in school, I have a partner in crime who does a lot for me, like sit in the car and play video games and laugh at my horrible jokes, and sometimes, you know, fill up the car with gas and chauffeur me around. I wish. So one of the necessary evils of our trade are lock boxes, and lock boxes can range from a simple combination lock, a dial lock like you would find on a 1908 school locker. We always encourage agents to go ahead and, you know, get with the times and technology, but there's still some out there that prefer to confuse us all with these old style dial lock boxes. That's just my own personal opinion. But this box, it is Wi-Fi enabled and very cumbersome, and they're tricky, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. And trying to cut one of these off is almost impossible, so you have to remove the whole doorknob if it ever can't be unhinged or unlocked. So I just okay, here's a real cool part of my job. This is where things get a lot more fun than taking off lock boxes. We are at a Davis Homes community that's in Fortville, just northwest of Indianapolis. And we're going to take a look at this beautiful house. I love this. I love the color, white and black trim. Super cute. Love that garage. I don't say cute often, but it is pretty cool. So let's take a look inside and see what they have to offer. I'll show you the outside of it first. It's kind of a staggered setback garage. It is super nice. It's about 2,000 square feet. 3-bed, 2.5 bath, I think, 2-car. But this is the area, and Fortville is big time up and coming. Okay, so we're here. We're at one of my listings over on East 16th Street that an investor has purchased and is looking to flip for hold, which means they're going to buy it and fix it up, and then they're going to hold it to rent it out. So Drew here, my man, is going to help film me while we rip this thing off. I've never even looked at the front of this thing as far as what it's going to take, but it should be fun. So let's check it out. All right, so now we're going to kind of venture into our toolbox and see what it's going to take to do the project. Aside from bats and balls and gloves, we have our tools, and I'm going to go over that here in a minute. So why don't you guys just follow me up and let's see what happens. All right, here we go. Fantastic. They have square tip screws. Make sure you hold it upright so we're all looking here. Square tip screws. So I hope that I have the appropriate bit to fix this. So, but in general, we just have to make sure that we get this thing off. So fantastic. Guess what we don't have? The correct drill bit. So now as a realtor, I have to solve this problem, which means I have to go all the way down, probably about 2 miles away to the nearest hardware store to get the correct bit. Of course, I only have probably 15 to 20 of these at home, but I didn't bring the right box. So we went to the hardware store, and we've determined that it's probably going to be a number 2 or number 3 square bit. So I'm not really going to take up any tools except for my drill driver here, and we'll see what kind of damage we can do with this thing, and then we'll pull it off. So follow me. Okay, so why don't you come stand right over here, make sure we get this all in. So we're dealing with, these are actually drywall screws because they're black. It looks like it's going to be the number 2 tip. And we have probably 2, 4, 6. Alright, so here's a flat bar hammer. Let's see what. Alright. It's kind of like, it's not The Price is Right. What's that other one? It comes on before The Price is Right. Alright, well, it's the door. So we're just going to leave this like this. And the new guys are going to come in. They can do whatever they want with this. But our job here is basically done. Alright. Let's go. Good job, man. So you also have to pick up some cool tricks of the trade kind of tools as well. And one of the ones that I got here recently is called a gimbal. And this is a stabilizer device for my phone. So when I go on video tours of homes, I can just prop it up in this thing and it keeps it dead level. It is really neat, but it's confusing as all get out, and it took me about 3 days to learn how to do it right. So technology is awesome when it works for you, but I don't know, we got a lot of neat stuff in our trade, and that's another reason I like this business, because it's ever evolving, and I get to be a part of that. So I don't know, we'll probably find some other neat stuff and we'll talk about it later. So I'm a huge car guy, and I don't slow down for much. But there is something new that's out there that I would slow down for, because this is a unicorn. Here it is. All right, so now we're stopped for lunch. I already ate it, and it took me about, I don't know, 3 minutes. I had some Noble Roman's pizza, and I washed it down with a cookie ice cream thing. All the while I had my laptop open. Answering some more emails. Got a call that we have to go to see another house, and one of the showings was also canceled because of a decision by the sellers and the seller agent to accept an offer. So instead of notifying everyone before they hit the road to go see a house, hey, we have an offer coming in, you may want to get something in, we'll just tell you last second, about 45 minutes before you show up, that we've already accepted an offer. Anyway, has cleared up, rained a little bit earlier, but we're all good. So hang. Okay, here we are, closing day, and we're at Fidelity National up in Fishers, and my client just showed up. She's the one that owns the property that we tore the door off of earlier, and we'll get through this, no problem. It was a cash deal, so it just took mere, I think, 12 days to do this. So we're gonna walk on in here, and maybe we'll get a picture of her later too. Okay, so here we are at closing, and this is my client.
Who shall remain anonymous?
Oh, it's Martha. Martha is her name. No,
I was just referring to the map.
No, this is Monica. She's been great to work with, and a pretty cool situation. The house was built by her grandfather, and she, you lived there till what? You say high school?
We moved in when I started high school.
Oh, moved in. Okay.
Yeah, which was 74.
74.
73. And my mother died. She lived there until 2016.
Wow, look at that.
Yep.
So it's been a great asset to the family and of course to her. So we're all done. She has agreed to share half of her earnings with me. It's fantastic. So she's my
But he
new.
owes me $1,000. So.
And I owe her $1,000. So she gives me half. I give her 1,000 back. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
So, but it's really cool. What's actually become of this is. All right, we're cruising right along. It's 5 o'clock. So we started about, what would that be? I don't know, 11 hours ago. And we still have a lot to do. So we have 2 showings with 2 different clients. And then I found out we got an offer to get out to. And so we have a lot. And I can see this being another long night. This is a typical Wednesday. Really, it's typical any day. Just day. It's day. And that's how this goes when you get busy in real estate. So we have 2 showings here at 5:15 and 6:30. 2 different clients. I just got notification that the 6:30 was canceled because they accepted an offer. So instead of letting everyone who wants to come through to check it out to garner more offers for the seller, they just decided that they're going to cut off all showings and be done with it. So that is sometimes the listing agent's prerogative. Sometimes it's the seller's prerogative. This one in particular is kind of odd because it was completely empty, so what's it matter, right? But this is the stuff you deal with, and it's hard when you cover a land mass as great as Indianapolis and not just focus on a certain community like a Carmel or a Greenwood or Avon. I cover all over Indianapolis, so I run around a lot, and it's a pain when you're driven a half an hour, 45 minutes, and at the. So as my clients are downstairs looking at some stuff, you find some pretty crazy things in every price range house. Personally, I like this on a $280,000 house. Shower curtains. There you go. That is a day in the life of a realtor. Well, just one of them. There's probably about another 360 more to go. I'll probably have a vacation day here or there. But the best part of my job is being able to come home to a family like this. My son, my beautiful daughter, joined us for dinner, and this is what motivates me to get out and do what I do. And it creates the flexibility, obviously, to spend the time when I can and when they can to enjoy life at its fullest. So it's provided a great life for myself and for them. And if it's something that you would like to see yourself doing in the future, let me know.